Hello guys, don't be afraid, I will be explaining everything very clear to you. So I was just wondering if it makes a difference in terms of the amount of resources you gain over time, that how many people are building your landmark. And the short answer is yes, it does matter, because the more people you pull on the landmark, the less resources you will have over time when they start collecting stuff again. And stay here for the longer answer. I started testing myself as well, but I have found an Excel online where they show how many villagers build how fast the landmark, and it's true, it's like that. And I'm not counting building speed, bonuses or whatever else. This is just like your basic civilization. So you can see here the time, how many villagers does it take to make the landmark in how much time. So if you have, let's say, 10 villagers, they will build it in 47.5 seconds. Alright, you can see the time differences, doesn't matter. The thing is that I have started to divide the amount of HP that the landmark has with the amount of time that they will take to build it, and you can see that the first worker is like the most OP, he contributes the most, he's the fastest builder, and everybody else will be adding the same amount of time. So like the second worker will be doing 8.7 HP per second to the landmark, and the third worker as well, so they are equal, they are equally strong builders. But how does it affect your economy if you pull more workers onto the landmark? Does it decrease the amount of resources you will get over time? Let's say the following: there is no travel distance, you pull X amount of workers to build your landmark, and right after they finish building it, they go back to gather resources, right? Okay. So I just used 20 villagers for our example here. I have used a time span of 3.5 minutes, but it can be anything that is higher or a bit shorter. And I have used 40 resource per minute for the villagers, like how much they gather in a minute. I can even delete this. So the formula is the next. We take, if we building with one builder, we take 19 people who are farming at a rate of 40 per minute. They are harvesting for 3.5 minutes non-stop. And after this guy finishes after 190, he is collecting resources for the remainder of 20 seconds at the same rate everybody else does. Here is a bit simpler version. So 19 people with 40 resource per minute for 3.5 minutes, this is our time span, and plus one person collecting at the same speed for 20 seconds, so 20 divided by 60. And this is the amount of resources you will have after 3.5 minutes. The same formula is applied to 2 workers, 3 workers, 4 workers, etc. As you can see, the more workers you pull on the landmark, the less resources you will have after 3.5 minutes. But it can be anything. Here's the difference between each workers, but it can be anything really. The difference will be the same, because after a time they will all go back to harvest. So it doesn't matter how long after building you will manage the time, it will be the same amount of difference, of course. If you are thinking about if you would need it to build it with 6 or 8 workers or whatever, you can see that you only lose like 15 resources in the long run, so it doesn't matter. Plus the walking distance, of course, because as I said, hypothetically there is no walking distance. So you see that you're losing 15 resources and your landmark is finished by, let's say, around 20% faster or so. So it's not a bad deal. For a clearer solution, I have pulled this here so you can see it better. The amount of villagers, the time needed to finish, and the amount of resource you will have after a 3.5 minutes time span. Do what you want with this information, but I hope you enjoy this little video. Goodbye.